It's time for WrestleShoot. The beast comes out in the dead of night. WrestleShoot eats a Tuesday night. Rob and Chris don't pull the punches, bitch. WrestleShoot. Breaking it down, WrestleShoot. Telling the facts, WrestleShoot. Stories on the road, WrestleShoot. That's our fire subjects. No party ever escapes their sight. Coming at you live every Tuesday night. Hey, WrestleShoot. Anti-social network, WrestleShoot. Sticky and hot, WrestleShoot. Sometimes act like jerks, WrestleShoot. Always bringing all the guts.
All right, are we still doing this, or can we be done now? All right, joke's over. Let's go ahead and start. Swear to God, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't get the show started. God damn it! There.
I don't know. My cat was loving that so much. Ready,
We're trying to talk. You want to go ahead and turn the music off now? What the hell? What are you, new to this job?
For the
Jesus.
love of God, Santa, look, I'm begging you to just get out. Look, I'm trying to do a puppet thing, and it failed miserably.
All right, so we're back here to do it.
What the
fuck? That's funny. You're funny. You got jokes.
Yeah. Surprise. Yeah.
Okay.
For the love of God and all things holy.
I think that did it. I think that did the trick. I'm gonna.
I
am gonna kill you. One more time. One more fucking time. One more time. Mother.
One more time, and you're going back to the goddamn public radio station at the high school.
All right. I think we're good to go now. Welcome to WrestleShoot. It's a ho-ho holly fucking jolly show that we're doing today. And you can see we got a different background. Make sure to follow us on YouTube over at ASN for Life. We're like the NWO, only different. ASN for Life. Check out the Pain Layer on YouTube. Let's all rock out with our cocks out together. Merry Christmas, brother. As you can see, unfortunately, Mr. Casanova could not make it today.
It's always such a bummer when somebody's, I feel like, I feel like you like when you'd watch the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon wasn't there and Doc was filling in for him. It just didn't seem, it's like, God,
come on, Mac. You're way better. No, what it is, it's like when Opie couldn't show up on Opie and Anthony and Will Jimmy handled it. That's what it's like.
Well,
that Chris is much higher stock than Doc.
Yes, we love Chris. It just I feel so naked without him, for God's sake.
I feel naked with him.
Oh, well, that's a horse of an entirely different color, I think, there.
But it does suck that we're going to miss out on our staple gig that Chris does. What really pisses me off, I love that bit.
We don't have to miss out on it. I got one that I am so ready to fucking vent.
Let's go, baby.
Okay. All right. So I was talking to my girl yesterday and we were just having a conversation. But when I grew up, there were fucking three things that were like, they were like religion, you know? They were, you knew you could fucking count on them. ABC, CBS, and NBC. Okay. When I was a kid, we were growing up. There were three networks. Then, of course, you had the PBS network. But for most of my fucking young life, there were three fucking networks. And on
Right.
one of those particular networks, we'll call it, let's say, ABC, there was a football event that happened every fucking Monday night. And all you had to do was turn your fucking television on, change it to ABC. In my home state, it was in Utah. It was Channel 4 and KTVX. And you would fucking turn the TV on. And who would it be? Dandy Don, Frank Meredith, and fucking Howard Cosell. Monday Night Football, a tradition for life, man. I've been doing Monday Night Football since I was like, I think I was still in the womb, for God's sakes. My mother and father would sit in the living room and watch it on an old black and white TV. There is nothing, there is nothing that pisses me off worse on planet fucking Earth than to
Whoa.
try and go watch Monday Night Football. You just can't fucking turn the TV on. Like, if you, like, here's what really pisses you off. I have the goddamn fucking bundle from uh, Disney. Disney, Hulu, fucking ESPN, all the shit Marvel that goes along with that spectacular bundle. ESPN comes with it. But I'm begging you, go try to fucking watch Monday Night Football on ESPN. Because as soon as you click on it, it asks you for a provider. Fuck you and your
Wow.
provider. I just want to watch the goddamn game.
See, I kind of feel like maybe Monday Night Football is too easy to access now because I swear to God, if I turn on Prime or any of my apps, it's like across the front page. Like my phone be getting blown up with scores,
Please
just like,
tell me how
holy
to do
shit.
that because none of my fucking apps, I've got 847 fucking apps, and none of them get fucking Monday Night Football. They all want me to choose. So I even bought an antenna so I could fucking like get the local channels in my fucking neighborhood here in Ida. Ho, ho, ho. I was going to add that Christmas cheer for you.
Oh, 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 oh.
But you know, even the local TV station, the local ABC affiliate, nothing. No fucking Monday Night Football. So I just gave up because every time I try to just go watch a Monday Night fucking football game, I can't do it. So, man, I might have to have you send me some links that get me there because all of my fucking streaming services, God, go fuck
Oh
yourself.
shit. Yeah. Or else you get taken to the pain layer, you sons of bitches.
Goddamn skip. What doesn't do no fucking good. I still am fucking ain't watching the Monday Night Football game. I can be as pissed off as I want to in the pain layer, but unless I have the fucking app that magically shows Monday Night Football, I can't fucking watch it because it ain't on Hulu. It ain't on NBC. NBC's fucking they do the Sunday night game. Fucking they don't do Monday Night Football.
Oh,
Hulu's
you
supposed
know what? You're right. You're right. Amazon only blows me up with Thursday night.
Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was saying, bro. See, that's the frustration. When you really dig in fucking deep, you're gonna find out you're in the same boat I am because when you try to go and then you click on your goddamn, and then you click on the fucking ESPN goddamn icon, and it says, "Oh, would you like to watch it now?" Yes. Click. Who would you like to access it with? What provider? Oh, go fuck yourself and your provider.
Fuck you, ESPN.
God, so now they want you to spend another $60 a month just to get the basic stations so I can go watch Monday Night Football. I don't need, like, it's the only thing in my repertoire that I need like a basic provider. I don't need a basic provider anymore like we used to have, like having fucking Dish or having fucking Direct or having Cox Cable or whatever. You don't have to have that no more. Honestly, you're like your antenna works great, but you can't get fucking Monday Night Football unless you have fucking ESPN through some kind of a provider.
Oh shit.
Okay, my rant's officially over.
And I could tell that really pisses you off. Boy, we have more passion there than Chris is giving on his. Maybe we're going to have to find something with Chris next time that just digs deep. That just really fires him up. I think that Chris has been making the mistake of only doing what pisses me off about wrestling. But maybe we should open that up and just have a weekly bitch fest about whatever
Yeah.
we're mad about.
See, I think to me, because I got another, I've got this little list that I'm starting to collect of shit that pisses me off, and because I like those things, I like to just, gurgle them around and fucking rant about them and kick them out, and then get a lot of irate rage in there, and then be done with them. It makes you feel good. It's kind of like throwing up all your fucking anxiety and rage.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. All right, on. And I don't really have a whole lot of wrestling points that I want to get into today, but I do got one, and I think this is going to hit pretty close to home for you. Here, let me go ahead and throw this up real quick. Today, we're going to get into your old buddy Mick Foley and how he has separated himself from the WWE. And what I would like to do is just read a post that old Mick wrote for us titled Parting Ways with WWE. While I have been concerned about WWE's close relationship with Donald Trump for several months, especially in the light of his administration's ongoing cruel and inhumane treatment of immigrants, reading the president's incredibly cruel comments in the wake of Rob Reiner's death was the final straw for me. I no longer wish to represent a company that coddles a man so seemingly void of compassion as he marches our country towards autocracy. Last night, I informed the company that WWE Relations that I would not be making any appearance for the company as long as this man remains in office. Additionally, and this is where Mick is putting his own skin in the game. Additionally, I will not be signing a new Legends deal as my current one expires in June. I will love WWE, will always treasure my time with them and deeply appreciative for the opportunities they have afforded to me. But in the words of Popeye the Sailor, I stand till I can stands, and I can't stands no more. And Mick, dude, my hat goes off to you because over here, the two guys sitting right here have okay, I'll speak for me. I have a very special place of contempt for the president. And I could not agree with Mick Foley more as his cruelty and his administration's cruelty and corruptness radiates more and more and more every day to the point where they are murdering people in the ocean and nobody's holding them accountable. They have already broken their last Friday deadline of releasing the Epstein files. Of course, they played the exact games that we were predicting they were going to play. But what's your thoughts about what old Mick has to say?
I got to tell you, when I read that, I thought to myself, that's a ballsy motherfucker. And you know what's amazing? I don't know if you saw this, Rob, but they immediately retorted and attacked him back, which is so Trumpian what they did. They immediately mogged his ass and said, if Mick's going to do this, there are people in Alabama who are not going to show up to give him money and all the things that he goes out in the world and does now because you're going to piss off the MAGA people that you really love, and they show up and sign your autographs all the time. Well, you know what? That's exactly why he fucking quit you. That's exactly the reason, what you just said, to go after him after he said he was eloquent, He was polite. He didn't go for the throat. He did it with class and integrity. And he just said, I can't be a part of this any longer. I
Right.
can no longer, you know, uh, dive into this pool where everything that you do reflects on you the way it is Donald Trump. And if that's the image, and it obviously, I've said all along, let me just say something, Rob, and I mean this from the bottom of my fucking heart. I have always believed that Vince was in the background calling Donald Trump's fucking game. And I'll tell you why. Because it just seemed like every fucking thing he did felt like a wrestling move. And then if you watch his fucking, there's a show called Get Me Roger Stone. Fucking Roger Stone is straight out of a fucking WWF fucking playbook. And who's one of the first people that fucking Trump hires when he becomes president of the United States? Linda
Yeah,
McMahon,
Linda. Yeah.
the fucking president, the chairman of the fucking Small Business Administration. I just have to say, the WWF I've seen Triple H standing side by side with Trump now, and that's obviously what they want to align themselves with. Hogan had already gone down that road, and if that's what they want, fine. But God bless.
I'm gonna kill this guy. He thinks he's funny.
Oh, it's okay. Good way. I was on a long-winded rant there. It was worth it, motherfucker. There you have my take on it right there. I think fucking Trump has been is on a, like, it's like the old Batman series. He's got fucking Commissioner Gordon at the other end, and he just fucking picks up the phone and goes, Vince, what do I do in this situation? And Vince goes, well, you always want to play fuck off. It's just
Well, hold on. Let's reenact this real quick. Hang on a second. Ready? Ring ring. Hello, Vince. Vince, gotta help me, Vince. Are you there, Vince?
What you got to do there, Donald, is just be a heel no matter what. Just be mean and malicious no matter what. There's no such thing as compassion in your administration. No sirree, Bob. You just got to fucking kill, and more kill. Let's not use it.
They're all coming after me, Vince. They're calling me names. They're upsetting me on the bigly level. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to be the president. I'm scared of Linda.
Well, you just go after them, and you make sure you take their licenses away, their television programs away. Sooner or later, you can kill them all, Donald.
I'll start with Jimmy Kimball, and then I'll do the WWE, and then
don't forget
not WWE.
Colbert.
Yeah, Colbert. Yep. Fuck that guy. And I do fully he did put his financial future to bed with that post. He's not going to go hungry. Mick's still going to write books, and they're still going to sell. Mick is still going to do appearances, and people are still going to come. So the MAGA base might lose faith. I don't give a fuck if the MAGA base ever watches this program ever again. I know Chris does because he doesn't want to lose viewers. But I am so passionate about my contempt and my disdain for what this particular administration has done. Let's even just say, just on the basis of honesty, even just on that one factor, every single day the man lies to us. Every single day his people lie to us. When the evidence is dangling in front of our faces, they're lying to us. It makes me sick. And what makes me sicker is when people who you would imagine in their normal life, they must be somewhat reasonable and logical, but they're fucking not. Nope. The president said that was a lie, so it was a lie. A couple times a week, I post that one picture of Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day on Facebook holding a microphone, and it said, Trump lied today. Underneath it says, you can post this again tomorrow.
Isn't that the fucking truth, though? I mean, it's just you know what I don't like, Rob? This is the part that I said this last week or the last time we were on, and I need to reiterate it. I am I am so sick of people, and he's the lead guy that does it, of blowing other people's candle out to make yours shine. You know,
Yeah.
if you make yours shine, your candle will be enough. And instead, every quote that comes out of his mouth always starts with, yeah, but Sleepy Joe did this, and Barack Obama did this, and Bill Clinton did this. It's always somebody else's fault, first words out of his mouth. And I
Well, where
just,
the fuck does that guy get off calling anybody sleepy anymore anyway? He
right.
falls asleep in cabinet meetings. He falls asleep on fucking TV.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's well, and so that's kind of what the funny part about it is. I think there's a certain level of McCarthyism that can be observed here, because when McCarthy first came to power and started the whole commie scare and everybody jumped on board, everybody was just automatically, overzealot, on board with just going after the witch hunt of everybody that was a communist in the world and going after them wholeheartedly. But pretty soon, when you make comments like he did about Rob Reiner and the things he said about a man who had just been murdered by his psychotic son, when the first words out of your mouth aren't compassion and understanding as the president of this country, oh, it breaks my heart, because it is so, we like to brag all the time about that this is a Christian nation. And, it just is one of those things that just, I know we're not. I know that with the First Amendment, nobody says it, and there's all kinds of arguments. But whether we do or not, that always seems to be the argument that people, you're defying Christianity if you for whatever reason you don't believe in whatever I think you should believe in. If you don't believe in that, then you're defying Christianity. And I just have to tell you, that's the part I get so tired of, everyone else being to blame for it. But it looks like, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm excited to hear your opinion on this. It looks like, and I'll tell you, to me, I hated this woman so fucking bad until I saw her on Bill Maher about 3 weeks ago. She was on Bill Maher, and I actually could not believe how reasonable she was live and in person. And now she's completely left his ranks, is Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she litmus test of the chink in the MAGA armor.
I think that she fled out of the sense of self preservation, and that's it. This is the same woman who was talking about Jewish space lasers were starting fucking forest fires. This is the same woman that took to social media and said, Joe Biden, you're a piece of shit. But
Yeah.
if anybody says Trump's lying, she spazzes out. How dare you speak about the president? I think, and Whoopi Goldberg did it best when fucking Reen was on The View and Whoopi just had her arms folded and was glaring at her the whole time. Like, you weren't pulling the wool over on her. She ain't pulling the wool over on me. And I think the majority of Americans just see her running before all the MAGA motherfuckers start getting hit with their criminal charges.
But don't you think though, Rob? Don't you think I agree with you? Every word that just came out of your mouth, I'm with you in your boat, man. Okay, I'm
Okay.
not argue with that, but all I'm saying is, to me, you want to talk about the true litmus test of the fact that, because until now there hasn't been anybody that was willing to go against him at any level. And now, when you see people like her, regardless of what her motivation is, okay, that part I'm going to give you. I would, like I said, I would agree with every word you said, but the fact that she's one of the first ones to jump out of the fucking boat when she was the one pulling the hardest on the oars in the beginning. To me, let's just say a breath of fresh air is way too strong of a sentiment to try and feel like maybe there is hope that people will actually go, you know what? This was a fucking sinking ship from the beginning.
I think she is the smartest one in a sea of stupid, is what happened.
Right.
But let me switch gears here real quick because I want to get into what you mentioned about Hogan earlier. Because me and Chris are kind of we see things a different way, and I'm guessing Chris is probably right. But you know Hogan, right? So I was saying that I think that Hogan took the gig over at the convention and was doing the Trump blah blah blah. I think he took a payday, brother. And Chris
Oh,
says, no, that's Chris says, no, that's who Hulk really is. He's really that hardcore of a Trumper, or at least a Republican. So I mean, I don't know which one it might be.
you know what though? Oh, okay, so I know this is going to sound crazy, brother, but what if it's both? What if it's both? Because Hogan was notorious in his life for being that chameleon. Like, we talked about the Jesse
Yeah.
Ventura and the union. And when Jesse said, let's do a union, Hogan said yes. And he got to the door and he was standing there by himself. And then Hogan's the one that rats him out to Vince. I just think that Hogan was notoriously deep down inside, he was a true baby face in the sense of the word, that's how he knew how to get paid, was being that baby face. And so I think it was so easy for him to take that payday when he went to the convention and he joined MAGA and joined the whole Trump world. To me, it was all just it didn't surprise me or shock me at all. I think Hogan's both of those things. I think
I was incredibly shocked.
Yeah. You weren't
Just to
shocked.
see just to see somebody of his like who to align yourself with a particular political party when you are of the pop culture scale that Hogan was, and you are still relying on that level of fame that you hit, you are ostracizing half of your crowd. That's the only reason he got booed on TV, because they did it in LA by mistake. If they did it in like Charlotte, North Carolina, they'd have popped the roof off for him, but they did it in LA, and that's all liberal, all democratic kind of thing. And he caught the heat for it. But that right there, you figured at least Jimmy Hart, right? One of his advisors would say, yo, Terry, don't do this. It's not going to pan out. And then his very next appearance for Vince proved what a bad move that actually was as far as a career went. But then instead of like try to normalize what he had done, he went full Trump and he doubled down.
So here's my question. How is that one fucking bit difference than when he joined the NWO and turned dark heel and fucking, it's the same. That's what I'm saying. I don't think
Wait, whoa, hang on. God damn it, Max. I'm going to kill you. You don't get to compare NWO, a gimmick, to a legitimate global altering phenomenon that is MAGA. You can't compare those.
Yeah, okay, but here's all my point is. You can when a payday is involved. And that's the key that you got to remember. That's the point. Hogan waited out. He waited out. He looked at, okay, yeah, I'm going to piss a few people off, but let me ask you a question. Is there any notes from the WWE going, gosh, you really should have considered before you made that choice to join camps with MAGA like they did to Mick Foley after he joined the non-Trump camp? Look at the difference in the way the
Of course
WWE.
they didn't, but WWE, they're not a person. right? Hogan is a person, and he was a person that so many people idealized growing up through their whole fucking life. And then
Yeah.
he took a political stance for somebody who aspires to be, but is nowhere near smart enough to ever be the next Hitler. I mean, Trump is one big bag of fucking retard. He is the dumbest motherfucker in existence. And I'll tell you, I said retard. Yes, I did, because he does. So if he gets to call people that, I get to call him that, and it's okay. Fuck Trump, he's a retard. But Hogan, that was a bad move, and I even now I'm like, was it a calculation that he made and it misfired, or did he just throw his career to the wind and go, let's see what happens?
So, but once again, brother, that's what I'm saying. So he took a calculated risk, knowing, okay, so I'm going to alienate this segment of the population, but I'm going to have my MAGA lunatics now out there buying my beer. I'm going to
Yeah,
have all my MAGA lunatics out there showing up at my events when, things aren't going so well. Now I've got MAGA behind me. And just like P.T. Barnum said, I don't care what you say about me as long as you spell my name right. Hogan knows that that was my comparison to the NWO, is that now he's a heel to a certain segment of the audience. And that segment that he's a heel to are very vocal and willing to show up and bring their presence in that moment, which creates another payday in itself as well. So I think Hogan was, in my opinion, I just think that's inherently who he was. He inherently saw it was another payday. He inherently realized it wouldn't kill, or it wasn't going to kill his career. It didn't kill his career because now he's got this new fan base that's really hardcore based in MAGA, and he lost nothing in his eyes. In his eyes, he didn't lose a fucking thing. In fact, he gained a hardcore group of people that now are, come hell or high water, out there buying all of his swag. Just some thoughts.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's not here to tell us his side, so I
No,
guess we'll never really know. But as what I'm understanding here is you were saying that we're both right. Me and Chris are both right.
because I don't think Hogan thinks. First of all, you know, one thing I know, and anybody who knows Terry, he smoked a fucking lot of dope. By the end of his life, I'm sure that his reasoning, and he took a lot of fucking impact to the head, So, he made decisions like everybody, and you get older in life that, maybe they're not the perfect decisions, but he still made money. He still did the Terry thing. He still, that wouldn't certainly stop him from going to a biker fest in Bismarck, right?
Sure.
That being a MAGA guy didn't shut him down with the biker crowd. So the crowd that he was worried about losing, he didn't care about losing them because he kept the ones that mattered. He kept these Harley Davidson, MAGA loving, red, white, and blue, shit, hell, look at my truck and my flag in the back of my truck supporters that drank, his beer the rest of his fucking life, their lives. That's what
Max,
mattered.
have you tried his beer, by the way?
I haven't.
Oh, dude, it's awful.
Is it
It
really?
is. Me and Chris did I think it was a 10-minute gig or a 20-minute gig on here where we were just going to review real American beer. We popped our first ones together on the air. I couldn't get through a whole can. I had to buy a 12 pack. So I took the rest of the 12 pack to Walgreens and gave it to a homeless guy who was sitting out front. I said, "Hey, brother, you like beer?" And he's like, "Yeah, you like real American beer?" And he says, "It's got beer in it, doesn't it?"
Does it
So I
matter?
gave it to him. I gave it to him, but I was shocked because Hogan is such a beer connoisseur. So like I don't think he had anything to do with the formula, the creation of the drink. Some company just said, "We put your name on it." He's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah,
Again,
brother, put enough zeros behind the decimal point."
how do I get a payday? That's my so there we are in the end. considering the shit Hogan was involved with, like the whole porno scandal that he was involved with, and the freedom of speech thing that he was involved in, that again, it was just one of those moments where Terry was, you know, I don't know what his finances were at the end of his life, but he obviously, never judge another man till you walk in his shoes. And I'm certainly not judging Terry, but he obviously felt like he needed that payday. And obviously, MAGA gave it by being a MAGA guy, it gave it to him. And so, you know what? He's the one that has to live with that, just like Mick Foley. Here's the guy. So, what a great segue right back into the whole reason what we started this show with tonight, Rob, is a guy we both love and adore who had the balls, knowing full well what the ramifications would be of basically telling the WWF to stick the WWE to stick their fucking Trump loving shtick in their asses.
I tried to be advocates for Triple H, saying, like, well, couldn't that just be something he's expected to do, is go stand next to Trump and do all that shit? And Chris goes, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You're the first guy to crucify somebody for standing by Trump. And you're trying to back Paul to no end for what? I was like, shit, you're right. All right. You're right. And it's just a shame to me that, because Paul is a nice guy and Stephanie is a very nice woman. I even think Linda's a nice woman, but to have them just so diehard aligned to somebody who definitely wants an autocracy is disheartening for me.
I see. And again, brother, I was talking about this the other day. How many wars in the history of humankind have been fought over the name of God? Every war in the history of the human race can be traced back, to God and
To a religion.
To religion, right. Oh, you don't believe the way I do? Well, then it's a mercy for you to die. And here's my point. Here's what I'm gonna skim away all the bullshit really quick. Is I so believe in freedom of will and independence of who we are as human beings. It's not what you believe. It's the way that you infringe your belief system on other people that is the source of every conflict that humans have ever had against each other. The Crusades, most people don't know this, but the Crusades, their mantra, we all know it if you're Metallica fans because of the album Kill 'Em All. But that basically was the root for the mantra of the Crusades, which was kill them all, let God sort them out. And because they didn't believe the way we believe, so it's a mercy for them to die. When in reality, the guy they were killing people for was believed in a theory 180 degrees different from that philosophy. And that's the part about Trump that if you don't believe the way I believe, then it's one of my favorite songs ever written is on the first Alice in Chains album called Bleed the Freak. And the song Bleed the Freak, if you haven't ever listened to it, go listen to it, because it's the main line in that song is name your God and bleed the freak. And that's just exactly the way the Trump administration works. If you don't believe exactly the way they believe, if you don't follow all of the mindless bullshit that Stephen Miller perpetuates, and every word that comes out of Trump's mouth, you can just tell, is straight from fucking Stephen Miller and that fucking sick lunatic. And if you don't believe that way, then it's a mercy for you to die. Look at what they're doing right now in Venezuela and trying to disguise all that bullshit. So that's the part that's so ridiculous to me, that hurts at such a core level, is no one's entitled to dissent. Look at what he's done. Look what he did to Jimmy Kimmel. Look what he's done to Stephen Colbert. I mean, here's a guy who he went out of his fucking, he did it. He succeeded in fucking costing that guy his fucking livelihood because he refused to secede, to going, okay, Mr. Trump, I won't say bad things about you on the air anymore. You know what, man? That's the part of being president. I thought we all just agreed, went along with the job.
Right? We think. So, my friend, I think that's going to wrap it up. This is going to be WrestleShoot. What? We go 40, 45 minutes.
Oh, my God.
You got something else you want to add?
I was just digging in with you, brother. I thought we were settling in for a long winter's nap.
No, that's later when we cuddle up.
Oh, no, yeah, okay.
Shut up. Don't laugh. It's not funny. It's none of your business. Don't judge us, asshole. This is our last show before we do Christmas, and then we'll got one more show coming off, and that's going to be the last one of this year.
No.
We are ending it with Max. That's right. We got ourselves a nice little three-way dance right here at the Anti-Social Network each and every week besides this week, of course.
Well, brother, I am so happy to be here. I hope you feel the same way next year at this time, because I really love doing this show with you, and I love talking about the subjects we talk about, and I really, really dig everything about this environment. So thank you for inviting me to be a part of it, Rob. I really appreciate it.
Oh, dude, we love having you here. Ever since the first week of the month of pain, Chris called me because he couldn't make that show. He called me. He goes, that was really, really fucking good. I was like, yeah. He goes, all right, I can't wait to be a part of this one. And then he's like, we can't let Max go. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. How are we going to work this out? And then I guess somebody worked it out for us, and magic happens, baby.
That's what I love, my friend. I'm totally down, and I'm totally into it. And thank you again.
All right, brother. That's going to do it for this week. Max, have a great Christmas, my friend.
You as well, man.
And everybody watching, if you want to give me and Max here a Christmas present, go to ASN for like, subscribe, thumbs up, no thumbs down, because if he gives us a thumbs down, what happens is that goes over to Doug Damien's department from Ghosted, and then he has to reach out and contact you regarding your thumbs down. We avoid that by just going thumbs up, baby. Thumbs up all day.
If you do the thumbs down thing, then you got to keep looking out your front window. So why bother?
Yeah, because you don't want that wild-eyed, long-haired lunatic charging up your driveway. That's all I'm saying. All right, brother. We'll see you next week. Later, everybody.